Hi, I'm Avery Davidson. Thank you for joining us for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, the only TV show bringing Louisiana farmers and consumers together every week. My partner, Kristen Oaks-White, has the week off. The 59-day 2019 Louisiana legislative session is underway. It started Monday, April 8th. Governor John Bel Edwards addressed a joint session of the legislature to give his State of the State address. As he pointed out, this session will not begin with a looming budget crisis like recent years, stating that Louisiana is better off because of it. A couple of major issues Edwards discussed were raising pay for teachers and support staff and increasing the state's minimum wage to $9 per hour. As we showed you last week, there are also issues during the session that will affect you at home and on your farm. To stay up to date with all things that connect Louisiana agriculture with Louisiana politics, sign up for our grassroots government newsletter at twilatv.org. Each week, we'll send you a newsletter with a quick video highlighting all that happened at the Capitol and how it relates to agriculture. We'll also have some other stories that go deeper into those issues from news outlets from across the state. If you're involved in agriculture on any level, listen up. This is important. Effective May 1st, you must have a card issued by the Louisiana Department of Revenue to receive tax exemptions when you purchase agricultural inputs and supplies. The Department of Revenue calls that card Form 1091. So how do you get the card? You must first fill out Form 1085 from the Louisiana Department of Revenue. You can download it using the link we'll post with this story. That form is titled Application for Certification as a Commercial Farmer. As per the instructions on the form, you must include your most recent federal income tax schedule or form used to report farm income and expenses. For most of you, that will be a Schedule F. You must also indicate whether or not you're a first-time farmer. If you are a first-time farmer, the card you receive will be good for 1 year only, and you'll have to fill out Form 1085 again next year. If you are not a first-time farmer, the card issued by the Department of Revenue will be good for 3 years. If you do not submit the Form 1085 and the requested information, starting July 1st, you will have to pay full state sales tax on all purchases of feed, seed, fertilizer, and other inputs. If you're wondering where this comes from, the Louisiana legislature passed a law 2 years ago requiring commercial farmers present a card when making purchases to receive tax exemptions. There is a chance the legislature could change the law again this session. We'll keep you posted. Regardless, now is the time to fill out and submit Form 1085 to the Louisiana Department of Revenue to keep your tax-exempt status. One of the oldest agricultural products in the world is one you likely enjoy on a regular basis. There was a day to celebrate this product recently. April 7th was National Beer Day in the U.S. It comes at an interesting time as craft brewing is exploding in popularity, even overtaking the big domestic brands. Twila's Neil Melanson tells us about one Southwest Louisiana brewery that's already making a big impact on its community.
This busy section of road near McNeese University has gotten busier in the last 3 years, thanks in part to Crying Eagle Brewery. It's turning Lake Charles into a destination location. In fact, inside these doors, the clientele gets as high as 80% Texan on the weekends.
Everyone has been very supportive and very excited when we start to do new and exciting things because it does bring more attention to Lake Charles. It brings people from Houston. I mean, we get people from Maine, Alaska, Oregon that come in here and they do like their own little brewery trail, and now that gives them a reason to stop in Lake Charles.
We keep water at hot and cold so we can get whatever temperature we need throughout the brewing process.
The brewery was designed to show off not only the beer, but the beer making. Brewmaster Bill Mungai took me on a tour of the facilities, which includes ingredients from all over the world, as well as right here in Louisiana. Raised on a dairy farm himself, Bill says their commitment to being part of the ag community is vital to their mission.
The brewing process generates a lot of what's called spent grain. It's the barley and wheat and grain materials that are left over after the brew process. We extract most of the sugar out of that, but there's still quite a bit of protein, and it's a good quality animal feed source. So we partner with some local farmers, and they come and actually pick that grain up, and they take it, and I think it's mostly going to cattle now.
So I've got the Pistol Bridge Porter here. You guys know I love dark beer. I'm going to try it out here. Really rich, really complex flavor to it. It's as good a porter as you can get. And it's just one of the offerings here, not only for beer, but for food as well.
A wood-fired stove serves up pizza and other goodies here. It makes Crying Eagle more than just a bar, but a community hub where people can even bring their families.
We work really hard to come up with new innovative beers, but also new and innovative events. We do beer yoga, we do our concert series. There's always something fun and exciting going on.
Just like these hops that are being grown on the grounds, Crying Eagle is just getting started, but it's already got some great roots. For This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, I'm Neil Lawson.
As you heard, you can get Crying Eagle products outside of Lake Charles, but most of its beers can only be found at the brewery. For location, hours, and offerings, head over to our website at twilatv.org. A recent report by the University of Florida shows that the cattle industry is one of the top economic drivers in Orange County, Florida. Now, why is this significant? For a couple of reasons. First, Orange County is home to Walt Disney World, which might lead one to think tourism is the only economic driver. Second, Florida is where the Louisiana Farm Bureau Livestock Advisory Committee plans to go for the 2020 beef tour. On this year's beef tour in Missouri, Louisiana ranchers learned about a college where hard work is more than the key to success. It pays tuition.
The banners on the streetlight tell you exactly what you need to know about the College of the Ozarks in Point Lookout, Missouri. It's known to the 1,500 students here as Hard Work U. That's because hard work is required not just to receive a degree from this beautiful school, but to attend.
Every student works for their tuition. They work 15 hours a week plus 2 40-hour weeks throughout the year at some campus job, and that covers the cost of their tuition. So it's a way for students of limited means to be able to afford a quality education.
John Anderson is the farm manager at what the students affectionately call the C of O. He's also an alum of this 113-year-old institution. He says the agriculture program housed at the Youngman Agricultural Campus came to be because the school has a beef farm, a dairy, a hog operation, a federally inspected processing plant, and a vegetable farm.
The students work in those operations as their workstation, and what they do and what they see and the hands-on experience that they get matches what they're hearing in the classroom. So it complements very nicely the academic training that they get. So they get the academic side, they get the practical application side, and when they leave, they're very well prepared for work.
There's a lot of hands-on learning that we get here that other students don't get on other campuses.
Lindsay Orphan is a senior in agronomy. She says the education she receives at the College of the Ozarks focuses heavily on patriotic studies and Christian values.
A lot of what you learn in agriculture is what you learn in the field and on the ground. I mean, we can sit in the classroom and we can learn all day, but in reality, the reality is if you can't apply that knowledge, then it's useless.
I don't miss high school. I don't miss lower school. There's not a day that goes by that I don't miss working on the beef farm and being here at college. It was something that it was better than I imagined it being, and if it weren't for C of O, I probably wouldn't have gone to college. And if it weren't for the beef farm, I probably wouldn't have stayed in college.
Milam Smith graduated from the College of the Ozarks in 2017. He's now back working on the beef farm.
It's a camaraderie. It's like a big family. You get all kind of awesome opportunities. You get to work with some incredible livestock, as you can see here. But it's what it's supposed to be. It's awesome.
I really raise the bar high for my students. I expect a lot out of them, but they always come through. They were able to do this tour, and most students at especially undergraduate level couldn't even tell you what was going on the farm, but my students do it all.
Tammy Holder manages the beef farm. She and the students work hard to improve the meat quality of the herd. But that's not the goal.
We have a beef farm and we have Hereford cattle, but my product is students and training them to be Christ-like citizens.
To learn more about the College of the Ozarks, visit our website at twilatv.org. It really is an interesting place. Speaking of interesting places, one of the sites we featured in last week's story from the 2019 Beef Tour, the University of Missouri Southwest Research Center, was also one of the highlights of the trip. In the coming days, you'll see a Twila Extra with some great drone shots of this very successful research station. If your weekend plans include crawfish this weekend, you're in luck. The prices are the best we've seen so far this season. We found live crawfish for around $2.50 and even boiled below $3 a pound. If you're headed down to the French Quarter Fest this weekend, you can stop in Metairie for crawfish on Vets, which has them live at $2.19 a pound, or boiled at $2.99 a pound. Lake Charles this weekend has SciFi-Con, where Neil Melanson's wife Sherry will be a guest author. Stop by, say hi, and buy her book. But also pick up some crawfish at Mr. Bill's Seafood Express for $2.99 a pound live or $4.99 a pound boiled. Finally, the Ponchatoula Strawberry Festival is this weekend. If you want something red that is not a berry, head up the road to the Hammond French Market. They've got them for $1.99 a pound live and $2.49 for boiled. Really good with a strawberry daiquiri, I'm told. There is some rain coming through the state, but that shouldn't stop you from eating crawfish. You can check those prices before you head out to your favorite spot on the Crawfish app. And as always, we want to thank the Louisiana Crawfish Promotion and Research Board, which reminds you to ask before you eat. Ag Magic and those festivals aren't the only places you can go to experience agriculture. In fact, pretty much wherever you are in the state, you can find a farmer's market nearby. This week, Twila's Carl Wiggers traveled to Opelousas to see what's in season there.
Avery, I'm here in Opelousas, Louisiana at the farmer's market here in town, and I'll tell you, it looks pretty quiet, pretty empty, but what's not lacking are the fresh vegetables, the fresh produce they have here, like mustard greens, carrots, kale. There's also some plants here, some tomato and cucumber plants, some bell peppers and jalapenos, banana peppers, you name it. So let's go meet some of these farmers here and see what they have in season.
We have tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, squash, cucumbers, really all kind of vegetable plants.
Right now I'm pulling out of the field carrots. I have several different types of kale. I think I have 5 types of kale today. Siberian, Red Russian, Italian, a couple of different kinds of curly kale, and also have some Swiss chard. I had a little bit of beets this morning, some smaller beets. I'll probably have larger ones in a couple of weeks. We're starting to slowly transition out of the winter crops, and due to the weather, we were a little late to start planting, like we're transplanting peppers and tomatoes, eggplants, that type of stuff. At the farmer's market, some people don't understand sometimes because in a supermarket, you can have all the vegetables, but that's coming from all different parts of the country, and a lot of it's under cold storage. The farmers markets, the local markets are growing it out of the field, and you have to go by Mother Nature.
We just want that our customer, satisfied what they're buying so that they keep coming back.
A lot of new and repeat customers from year to year. I love the people from Opelousas, and they always help support the market, which is what we come for and do.
The Opelousas Farmers Market is open on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays year-round. If you don't live in Opelousas, that's okay. There's likely a farmers market closer than you think. Head over to our website at twilatv.org where we'll share a link to a long list of farmers markets in the state. Also, if you'd like us to feature your local farmers market on the show, tell us about it while you're on the website, and you may see one of us out there very soon. Still to come on Twila, a little boost coming out of a place you might not expect right now, the Midwest. But first, ever wanted to eat an impressionist painting? Okay, how about a dish that looks like one? That's what we'll do in Field to Feast next.
I now hope they're fighting today.
I hope they are. Put a Dorito right here.
Find your place in the country and the lender who can get you there. Find Louisiana Land Bank. Financing for country homes, recreational property, farms and ranches, and agribusiness.
Landowners are minding the Louisiana forest for our grandchildren. A place for wildlife, recreation, lumber for homes. It's the right thing to do. Forestry, covering half our state, all of our hearts.
Before you sweeten your morning joe, before the icing on the cake, before the sugar hits the shelf. It begins with a family of sugarcane farmers dedicated to growing Louisiana for more than 220 years. The Sugarcane Growers of Louisiana, making life sweeter, naturally.
Sugarcane, sweet sugarcane. Louisiana oysters, salty, sweet, and delicious. But have you ever thought about what happens to all those oyster shells? Most of them end up in trash cans and landfills. The Coalition to Restore Coastal Louisiana is changing this with its oyster shell recycling program. And you can help by visiting these participating restaurants. It's a simple and delicious way to restore our coast. The shells will then be used to sustain and rebuild oyster reefs. Remember, once you shuck them, don't just chuck them.
Welcome to Field to Feast, where we profile Louisiana's local ingredients. This morning we're at Fullness Farms in Baton Rouge, where we're going to gather these ingredients and take it downtown to restaurant Cocha and make a fabulous dish. So come join us.
Field to Feast with Jennifer Finley is brought to you by the Louisiana Crawfish Promotion and Research Board, Louisiana Crawfish, ask before you eat, and by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
We're here at Fullness Farms with Grant and Saskia from Cocha, and we're really going to learn a lot about what's going on here today.
So we're a small-scale farm focused on a wide variety of vegetables, but a lot of spring mix and baby greens. And we're focused on selling directly to consumers. A lot of people call what we do market gardening. And so putting the not just gardening, not just farming, but also marketing it, and part of that is, a big part of that is having a relationship with the end users. So we sell 100% of everything we grow at a farmer's market to the end user or to a chef like Saskia.
Talk to me about your edible, all of these things that a lot of people, like to me, I think I've seen this on the side of the road. I mean, it looks like a lot that how do you learn what's edible and what's not?
So, weed is just an unloved flower. And some people's definition of edible is it doesn't kill you. So there's things that are edible, but then there's things that are highly palatable. There are interesting flavors and whatnot correlated with nutrition and yeah, it's part of the omnivore experience, roots, shoots, fruits, leaves, flowers. Yeah.
That is delicious. Just to add that, that's the difference. You have a dish, but then
it'll pop.
The explosion of flavor.
I enjoy with farmers markets, somebody being like, wow, edible, are those edible, the flowers there? And it's like, yeah, would you like to try something? And yeah, try this viola. It's got a mild menthol flavor. Try this begonia, and then what was that? It's super sour, and it's got this oxalic acid, and then all right, well, if you like that, try this nasturtium. It's really powerful and peppery.
So this one you can just eat. Okay, yeah, the whole thing.
The whole thing.
So you get the strong pepper and the sweetness all at the same time.
Yeah.
My mind is blown.
It's pretty cool, and
these are begonias.
The begonias are my favorite.
I have absolutely. Is this your run-of-the-mill? Like I get begonias and put them out in my garden.
Absolutely.
And this is them. Like
yeah, if you don't spray them with anything.
Those are delicious.
And you feel good about the dogs in your neighborhood not getting near them. Then I eat them all the time. I see them now. I see them in landscaping, and I'm like, oh, I want to eat that. But then I'm like, oh wait, but yeah, it's totally the same varieties that you would see landscaping
I grow them in hanging baskets, and then you don't have to worry about the dogs and stuff.
Perfect. Yeah.
That's a fantastic idea. And then you could just cut them at the end and finish some of your dishes with edible flowers from home. I am so excited about this. I have just become much more interesting than I used to be.
Yeah, we tell people it's kind of like salad sprinkles, like sprinkles for your ice cream, but sprinkles for your food or salad.
Why does Baton Rouge, why is this soil so conducive to these incredible ingredients?
All right, good question. So where we are, we're maybe only a quarter mile from the Mississippi River. And pre-levee, the river would be having a shallow flood over all this land and depositing silt and minerals every year, hundreds, thousands of years, and so it builds up this rich soil that's has a high holding capacity for minerals, and then it also has a lot of minerals. So it's sort of like genetic potential, and it's like LeBron James or something. Like he's got the potential, but he works out and stuff like that. So,
Grant, how did all this begin?
yeah, how did all this begin? I think at LSU, and it's intertwined, falling in love with gardening and falling in love with my future wife. For us, farming lined up political things, economic things. Our family wanted to have good food and spend time and enjoy life, but also work hard and make a living. Marching.
You know, when I taste a lot of the stuff that comes from this farm, it's like I feel the love and the attention that was given to these plants, and you know, and it translates into the food. It's a whole synergy that needs to exist if you're really going to create beautiful food for people.
We're thankful to get to do this. We feel like this is a privilege and sacred honor, you know, that we get to participate in this, and I don't have to go get a real job, you know, like, so for you know, a fish belongs in the water and a monkey in the tree, and I belong on this farm, you know, and if I farm here my whole life and they bury old man Grant under a tree, you know, and I've helped maybe train up 50 farmers or something like that, you know, I feel like, hey, it's pretty good, you know.
It's a good life.
Yeah.
Oh, the green garlic, I'll take one of them.
Oh yeah, good call.
That.
I'm a farmer.
I am a farm wife.
I am a cowboy.
I am a grass farmer.
I'm a businesswoman.
I'm a conservationist.
I am an advocate.
I am a voice for Louisiana farmers.
I'm always learning.
I'm a husband.
I'm a mom.
I am a dad.
I'm a granddad.
I am a consumer.
I grow the food that feeds your family, and I'm proud of it. I am Farm Bureau.
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 We are Farm Bureau.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
That's slow. That's slow. Look, he's blushing.
Hi, Chef.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you? This all
Good.
looks so beautiful.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about where we are and what's going on.
All right, well, you're in my kitchen at Cocha. We are a seasonal farm-to-table restaurant working with local producers of wonderful organic greens like we saw today this morning at Fullness.
Unbelievable.
We've been open since 2016 in December. We've changed our menu over 15 times.
Your menu to me reads like a romance novel. It is just, it's so passionate. It's ever changing. You know, how much time does it take for you to come up with your menu selections?
We usually start planning our menu change about a month to 2 months out. We have to obviously talk to the farms, find out what their schedule's like.
You're looking for those fresh, local Louisiana ingredients.
Correct.
And then making your menus based on what's available. What are we doing today?
So what we do at Coach's, we work with a lot of international influences as far as flavor profiles. We're not a typical Louisiana restaurant, even though we will do some things nods to Louisiana, but always with a little twist. Right, so today I'm going to make 2 dishes for you. I've got everything kind of prepped out. The first thing that we're going to focus on is the wonderful root vegetables that we pulled in from Fullness this morning. These beautiful sweet baby carrots, purple radishes, turnips, black radish. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to lay down a swath of the fresh ricotta. We're going to lay these beautiful roasted vegetables that I just roasted off ahead of time. We're going to play a little bit with the different colors. So what we're going to do is finish it off. This is where the international kind of comes in. This is a dukkha, which is a mixture of sesame seeds, coriander, cumin, almonds, and hazelnuts, a little bit of salt. I'm also going to sprinkle just a little bit of Fullness honey. Put a little bit of a spicy micro arugula there.
That's from the farm today. The pepper in this arugula, if I may,
Yes,
is
you may.
Dynamite. That is by far the best arugula I've ever put in my mouth. This is absolutely stunning. This is like a piece of art that needs to be hung on the wall, not even eaten.
All right, so next one, very simple. It's been my go-to salad with the family for a while.
Everybody's looking for a go-to salad with the family.
So whenever we would have get-togethers, I prepare this, and it was quite popular. So makes it even better when I have all these beautiful greens coming from the farms.
And those are
the edible flowers, which
the
will
edible
also go
flowers.
in.
What is
A
this?
little sherry vinegar.
Okay.
A little citrus juice, so whatever nice local citrus you might have. It's got salt, pepper, little shallots in there. So then I add a little bit of roasted beets to it. Everybody likes their beets, a little local citrus, grapefruit, and oranges. With some nice Louisiana Gulf shrimp. It looks like a little painting as well, I think, once it's done.
So come visit Kosha, and we'll see you next time on Field to Feast.
Thank you. Go. That's both of you. Please enjoy.
Field to Feast with Jennifer Finley was brought to you by the Louisiana Crawfish Promotion and Research Board, Louisiana Crawfish, ask before you eat, and by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Let's finish this week's show with a little boost from the Midwest. As we've shown you here on the show, farmers and ranchers from across the country have been pulling together to send supplies to those affected by the terrible flooding across the region. This video is from Haley Walker of Trucks Rolling By. These trucks from Kansas and Oklahoma are headed to Nebraska. According to her post, many of those who donated from Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas to fill these trucks with supplies were affected by the widespread fires in 2017 that impacted ranchers in all 3 states. That does it for this edition of Twila. To catch stories and extras between shows, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. You can also see all of our stories on twilatv.org. For all of us here at Twila, thank you for joining us. We hope to see you again right here next week.